Hi guys, welcome to Stitchity Doodle. It's Gayle and
Miko.
in this video I'll be talking about all of my acquisitions that I got for my birthday and Christmas and also purchases from last month of last year as they relate to my crafting and or this YouTube channel. So let's get started. I'm going to break this video down into two sections. The first section will include my crochet acquisitions, things that are for the most part related to my crochet crafting. And then the second part will include acquisitions that are related to other crafts that I delve in, such as sewing and doll making and other stuff that I might dabble in. My first acquisition is this rechargeable LED eyeglasses magnifier. Now, I found out about this product by watching Ellie from Craft House Magic here on YouTube. It comes with a USB and micro USB connector charger. It comes with two LED lights and it comes with two different brightness settings. It comes with 4 magnifying strengths. And the different strengths are 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 5 times. It also comes with a lens cloth cleanser or cleaner. It has this adjustable rubber strap in the back. You can move it forwards and backwards to fit the size of your head. And what Ellie had mentioned and what caught my attention was that she mentions that the battery packs are on the sides. And that's important because that's where most of the weight is. And so your weight is distributed on the sides of your head as opposed to in the middle and sitting on the top of your nose, and it'll put a lot of undue stress on your nose. So I really like that aspect about this. I also prefer these way over the neck light. It's a neck light, it wraps around your neck and it has two lights dangling on the sides here, and you can actually maneuver it which way you want it. But I didn't particularly care for that because I couldn't angle it exactly where I wanted it. So if I'm crocheting down here, I couldn't get it to angle exactly where I wanted it. Even though if you can maneuver it, I tried all different ways. It's got like a wiring in it and you can pose it, but it just wasn't feasible for me. So I wouldn't gravitate towards it. I had it in the house. I wouldn't use it, and apparently now I've lost it. But I am super excited about this. I've tried it on. I've tried it in action. It is great for I know a lot of you have difficulty, as do I, with working with dark yarns. You know what I'm talking about, black yarn. A lot of us creators don't especially like working with dark yarns, and this is great for it. You have light in two different brightnesses, and you get a magnifying glass on top of it. I mean, I can see really close. Like, I feel young again. In my younger days, I was able to stitch up close like this and see my stitching. Now I'm having to, you know, push it further and further, and even then I struggle with seeing. But with this, I can actually hold something up close and I can actually see. I can also crochet with dark yarn. I'm going to put these glasses on and work with this super dark green yarn here. And oh my gosh, oh, the things that you can do with this. I'm telling you, this is a game changer. That neck light has got nothing on this magnifying eyeglasses. This is definitely one of my current favorite crafting tools. I can never go back. So this is definitely a keeper. And I can see like I'm 20 years young again without any glasses. I am feeling pretty good right now with these bad boys on. And I don't care how I look. I don't care what anybody says. I'm keeping this, and this is a game changer. Definitely. I would highly recommend. You can find this on Amazon, and I will have the link down below, and it is not an affiliate link. This is great for working with dark yarns. This is great for working at nighttime. What else did I write? This is great for doing up close detailed work. Like I will be making a lot of dolls, and I'm actually planning on doing a lot of hand stitching. And I've tried doing hand stitching, and I have to do my readers. But now that I have this, I can do my hand stitching up close without any problems, and I can do it at night. Yeah, this is just a fantastic tool. I'm super excited about using it. Oh, it's also rechargeable. You can recharge this. I don't have to put any batteries or anything in it. So when I said battery pack, I meant power pack. So don't mind me. But yeah, definitely a game changer over the neck light. So if you too do not care for the neck light, I would recommend you try this. This is, yeah, highly, highly recommend. Cannot speak highly about it enough. My next acquisition is this Precision 2-temp glue gun. Now I already own two glue guns, a mini one and a regular size one, but I bought this one for its precision tip in the hopes that I would have more accuracy in applying amigurumi parts, or even felt for that matter. Sometimes I use fabric glue and sometimes I use glue gun, but I was hoping to have more accuracy with this precision tip. I did compare this tip to the other two glue guns, and to be honest, it looks like this precision tip is actually larger than my other two, but it does protrude further from the nozzle. The tip of the nozzle protrudes out a little bit further than the other two. So we will see how this works out, but that is the reason why I wanted this, and it was given to me as a gift along with the last the LED magnifier eyeglass. Those two were gifts, and I have high hopes for this. So we'll see in the future how this works out for my my crafting. Now this glue gun uses the regular full-size glue gun, but it does have two temperature settings. Here we go. Low and high. So depending on what type of materials you are working with, you can set it. And I believe neither of my other two existing glue guns have a high or low temp. So I'm kind of excited about using this. My next acquisition is not something that you would expect in a craft room, I guess, and definitely not in a yarn room. But now, if you thought that the LED magnifier glass was not fashion forward, you may have stronger opinions about this bad boy. Now, this is a respirator. Now, hold on. I know you're asking the question like, girl, you crazy. I am not gonna wear that. But let me tell you, I will. I will definitely, and most assuredly I have already. I have had this respirator on my wish list for quite a few years now. Miko and I used to do resin crafting,
You
and
used to do resin.
we haven't done it in years. But we of the utmost we try and put safety first. We used to wear nitrile gloves because you are dealing with chemicals, safety glasses, and we never had one of these. So we would always work in a well ventilated area. But I've always wanted to have one of these um, for just safety, overall safety. But when we stopped resin crafting, I kept it on my wish list. And now that I'm doing crochet and amigurumi, I actually find it useful for that. Amigurumi making, you ask? Yes. For me, I am one of those crafters who melts the back of the safety eye posts. I melt it using what do you call that? A wood burning tool. So I will take that and melt it. And when that happens, it does emit a lot of smoke. And to inhale that it's not ideal. It's not healthy for you to be inhaling that. So that's where this comes in. And I have put it on, and I will not put it on in front of you folks.
Why? You look like great. You look like Darth Vader.
But it does work for what it's intended for. I will put it on and I cannot smell any of that harsh chemicals. So I usually do it outside of the house where it's pretty windy. But you have to make sure that when you do it outside that it doesn't blow back into your face. So always check the direction of the wind prior to melting the backs of your posts. And I will actually also I'll blow on the smoke away from me as I'm doing it. But now that I have this, I don't have to worry about it. But I do still recommend that you do it outside with this on. So that's what I use this for. Respirator for amigurumi making. Absolutely. Now, it is a 3M5303 respirator, and I'll have everything linked down below in case you are interested. Now, my next acquisition is this Kodak Mini 2 Retro Photo Printer. Now, I've been wanting to do journaling to include pictures in them. And I know that Julie from KS Mom Crochets here on YouTube does do journaling with photos in them. And there's another young amigurumi YouTuber here. I can't remember her channel, but I'll try and link her down below. But she also showed in one of her videos, she was flipping through her journal and she had photos in them. And I was like, why don't I do that? So I've been wanting to put photos in my journals for my amigurumi recording. I decided on this particular model because I was watching Sassy in Korea here on YouTube, and she was doing a review on 5 different mini photo printers, and this came out at the very top, in my opinion, for my purposes. And so I decided on this one. This is how the printer looks. This printer prints 2x3 photos, and it does a 4-pass printing with CYMK color inks, which is a good quality photo. It's also waterproof, and I like this because it's convenient. I know that you can print out photos much cheaper by sending it to your local printer, photo printer shop, but for convenience, I like this idea, and I like that I don't have to wait until so many photos are accumulated before sending them off to print. And I also like the size of it. It's a 2x3, which will fit nicely into my journal. If I were to print it off to my local printer, what I would have to do is do photo editing and size multiple photos onto one print and then cut them out. So it's a lot more work to be done. And for me, just for now, I think I want the convenience of this. And maybe in the future, I can transition over to my local printer, but we'll see how it goes. Now, this printer comes in white, black, and yellow, and I went with the retro Kodak yellow. So I think it's pretty cool. And I'm super excited to get started with this in my journaling. Now, this next section is all about my crochet books that I got from last year. And we'll start off with this Crochet Ragdolls. Now, I had brought this up previously in one of my episodes because I had already worked this guy out of it. I got this book because I thought that they were loveys. So if you look at it, they're flat dolls in the middle. They're not stuffed, and then they have arms. So I've seen loveys in this fashion. They have an amigurumi head, some flat limbs, and then a flat body, and they were considered loveys, and I wanted to do that style of a lovey. But this book calls it a rag doll, and it even comes with clothing. So I guess you can consider it as an amigurumi, just ragdoll style. And a lovey also. So whichever which way you look at it, it's, I don't know, amigurumi to me. So, but either way, I wanted to try my hand at this, and I did. I loved working this crocodile, and you can find him in my podcast episode number 15, I believe. I will talk a little more detail in my next video, which will be my amigurumi book tag video, hopefully coming sooner rather than later. But yeah, I got this for Christmas this year, and I'm super excited to work more projects out of this. Now, my next crochet book is this, what is this? Fairytale blankets to crochet. I'm wanting to try different crochet projects for kids and babies, and this is one of them. So I've been eyeing out this book for quite some time, but when I did get it, because I'm not normally a blanket crocheter, I normally make amigurumi, and I usually buy one skein at a time because I can get away with one skein with the size amigurumi dolls that I normally make. It was an eye-opener for me to figure out how much yarn is required to make one of these. And it's a lot in comparison to what I'm used to buying. You're talking like 9 to 11 skeins of 100-gram Aran weight or worsted weight yarn, give or take, depending on what kind of yarn. I mean, that's what you're talking about, that many skeins of yarns, and I don't normally buy that many. So that's gonna be my challenge in making these. I am looking forward to making these projects this year. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shop the Hobby Lobby clearance sales and hopefully find a yarn that I can get that many skeins at once, and hopefully make it more affordable for me to accomplish this task. Now, my next amigurumi book is this, Crochet Zodiac Dolls. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this book around here on YouTube, and the reason why I got this book, I got this for Christmas. The reason why I chose this book was because of the dolls. Enough said, stitchity-doo doll. I do dolls, that's what I do, that's what I make, that's what I love to do. And this is right up my alley, and so I had to have it. I'm looking forward to making some projects out of this book. I actually want to make all of them eventually. I don't know when that's going to be done, but you know, that's something that I would love to do, is have the whole collection in my amigurumi stash, personal amigurumi stash. Now, I haven't made anything out of this book yet, and I will look it over and see what my thoughts are, and I will share them, whatever I have, with you in my next video. And my last crochet book is Animal Friends of Pica 3. Now, I've been wanting this book ever since I found out that Jan Schenkel was coming up with her third book. I already owned the first and the second, and it was just natural that I had to have the third. And again, I haven't worked anything out of this book, but I will share my thoughts, if any, in my next video. My next acquisition is pins. Now I got a bunch of pins for my amigurumi making because I can never have enough. So these are like teddy bear pins in all different kinds of colors, and also some bows in various colors. And I got these because I use them a lot in pinning, what do you call, limbs and things. And sometimes I run out of these. I have like 2 sets from Hobby Lobby, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of them. So I got the pair of these on AliExpress. I think these are 100 each. So I don't think that I'm gonna run out of any pins anytime soon. And something that I wanted to share with you guys is I use these pins because I used to use these ball pins, because this is what I started off with when I was sewing and quilting, and these are the pins that I used to use. And I was starting off using them in my amigurumi, but if you can tell, some of these ball heads are small, and if I were to push them hard enough, it would actually go inside the amigurumi, and I didn't feel comfortable with that thought. And so I started buying these pins where the heads are bigger than the holes between the stitches, so I don't have to worry about my needles or my pins getting stuck inside of the amigurumi accidentally and unbeknownst to me, because that would be horrible, especially if I'm giving it away as a gift or selling it. I can't imagine what that would be like. So yeah, I like using these pins with big heads now. You can also use T-pins. That's what T-pins do as well. They have a little stopper, not little stopper, but they have a horizontal stopper to prevent it from going inside of the fabric. So yeah, I bought a bunch of these and I'm good to go. My next acquisition has to do with one of my goals again, which is to create new projects for kids and babies. And one of my thoughts was teething rings. And so I bought a bunch of these wooden teething rings online and AliExpress. And I've been seeing a bunch of teethers with amigurumi heads and limbs and tails and such, and they just look so adorable, and I really wanted to try that. And that goes in line with one of my 2023 goals. If you haven't seen it, it's my last video posted, and I will have it linked down below if you're interested in watching it. But yeah, I got these wooden rings, so I'm super excited to try my hand at that. And teethers is one of the high priority items that is desired by my local charity, so it's a win-win. I also bought some rattles. Now this was bought way before December. I think during the time when I was purchasing a bunch of supplies for Amigurumi Eyes video that I have in mind for the future, for future content. I bought this a while ago, and so when I make my teethers, I can also put a rattle in there if I wanted, so it'd be a rattle teether combination. Now this next section is not crochet related, so if you've had your fill, I'll see you next time. But if not, stick around and keep on watching. This next acquisition is sewing related. I have been embarking on a project bag journey where I'm trying to hone my sewing skills, and part of that, I got a Rivet Press. I've been watching a bunch of bag making channels, and they make amazing, amazing bags. And I'm just in awe by their workmanship. And so I've been inspired by them, and I've been wanting this Rivet Press for a long time. Now, I found out about this Rivet Press from watching Jess at Okla Roots here on YouTube. And again, I will have everything linked down below. And along with this Rivet Press, I also got some rivets, some double capped rivets, which is the typical size for bag making. But I also got some adapters. Now this particular adapter, you'll want to get with the Rivet Press if you're going to be making bags. And this is the hole cutter set. And these are the rivets that are specific to double cap rivets. And each of these I pretty much had it purchased a la carte. Now this was all purchased as a gift to me because it was on my wish list, and Santa Claus gave it to me this year. But I'm super excited about using it. It's something new for me as far as project bag making. It's great for reinforcing your stitches, or even if you can't get your stitches through multiple thicknesses of fabric, you can use this as an option. But yeah, I'm super excited to try this as a functional part of the bag, or even just aesthetics. So hopefully you'll see that in some kind of project bag in the future. This next acquisition is pretty exciting for me. I've been using a traditional rotary cutter, such as this Olfa rotary cutter. And usually when you use it, or when I use it like this. And if you look at the angle of my hand, it's kind of, here's my arm, and then it's kinked. You see this? It's straight, and then it's kinked in this angle. It's not ergonomic in any sense. And so this is usually how I hold, and then you're putting a lot of pressure. You're trying to push down, and so there's a lot of, what do you call, strain on this part. So this is a typical rotary cutter of what I'm used to. Now, my acquisition from last month is this Martelli rotary cutter, and it's considered an ergonomic rotary cutter. And how it works is you grip it like a bicycle handle, like this. And then on this opposite side, there's this little oval section. So I'm going to put my thumb there. And then on this top curved section, you're going to put your index finger. And this particular one model that I got is specific to right-handers. There's another blue model that's specific to left-handers. So that's one thing about this particular brand. And this is how you hold it. And if you look at my arm, it's straight, and so is my hand. It's just like a straight line. There's no kink. There's no bending like this to use it. This is actually how I am going to be rolling it across the table, and it's all straight. And I've been having a lot of fatigue in my hands when I do cut my fabrics, and I've tried different things like the Lazy Susan rotating cutting mats. I've tried that, and that seems to help some, but really it mostly came down to using the rotary cutter. And when I found out about this ergonomic rotary cutter, I was like, you know, it's on the expensive side, but it's worth it for me and my hand situation. So I use my hands a lot, especially for crafting, and I want to be able to craft for a long period of time. And so I have to learn how to take care of my hands and work smarter, not harder. And so if spending a little bit more money on tools helps me to take better care of my hands, which is my #1 tool, then so be it. You know, it's what I gotta do. But I am loving the way that this works. So I've had to play with this this little screw to adjust the tension, because when I first got it out of the packaging, it was pretty tight where it was skipping. It wasn't rolling, so I had to loosen up the tension quite a bit actually. This also has a this red part is like the, not the lock, it's a guard, but you can easily just open it up. They say to start cutting and then it'll automatically unlock, but I don't really use that feature. I just manually unlock it myself. And the blade is now exposed. And if you want to lock it, you just move your finger to the right and just push it to lock it, and now it's guarded. Here's that. This part sticks out past the blade, and so it's guarded. Yeah, you can replace the blades. I bought some extra blades. I didn't get that in my gift, but you know, since I got the tool, I can now buy blades. And this blade in particular is said to last so many times longer than a traditional blade, like you would with an Ofa blade or what are Fisker blades, whatever other brands. But and then also for this blade, you don't have to put as much pressure. So let me read to you some of the unique features that it says. It says comfort contoured grip, ergonomic design, spring-loaded guard, precision engineering. Fits in natural hand position, which is the #1 thing that I liked. Perfect for hands with arthritis, carpal tunnel syndrome, tendonitis, or hand fatigue. Requires less pressure to cut, superb maneuverability, and automatic release guard. Yeah, it's just, and it says cut over 15 layers of fabric at a time, which I haven't tried, but I believe them, because this blade with minimal pressure cut really nicely. It was like butter. So I am super excited to get this. It was definitely worth the price. In my case, because I have such, you know, sensitive hands, high maintenance hands, it was worth the price. I got it for a gift, as a gift, but the replacement blades were not exactly cheap. So this is an investment as far as tools in your sewing room. So highly recommend. Now my next acquisition also has to do with sewing, and it also is a cutting tool, but it is this Kai scissors. Now this I have heard about from Jess at Okla Roots. She uses her Kai scissors and she says it's her #1 favorite. And I did a little bit of research. I stumbled upon this one video that did like testing this scissors against like a plethora of other scissors. I'll try and find it and link it down below. But it did a multitude rigorous testing, and this almost always, if not always, came out #1 by far, by a landslide. I mean, it was just crazy how sharp and how durable this thing is. Granted, it is like what, a Tesla or a Mercedes of the scissors, whatever luxury brand you can think of. This is a luxury brand of scissors, and I have not tried it yet, but I have high expectations for this. And when I do that, it sounds pretty smooth. I mean, it feels smooth, and just the sound of it, I already can tell it's gonna be great. So I'm looking forward to using that in my sewing projects as well. Some of the sewing techniques that I want to try requires a glue pen. So I got this. This is Fontaine Porter glue pen. I have used glue sticks before in my life, but that was only for paper crafting. Now this one is specifically for fabric, and I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe it's washable, yeah, water soluble fabric glue stick. I don't know if it's any different from if there is a paper or water soluble pen glue stick. But yeah, this is kind of expensive for what it is, which is a glue stick. But I mean, for what I want to do, I want to try and up my sewing skills. And if this is going to help me do it, then so be it. So this was on my wish list, and I got this for Christmas as well. A glue stick for Christmas, yes. The person who gave this to me was rather hesitant in giving me this, but you know, it was on my wish list. It's what she wants, so I ended up getting it. So I'm super happy. My next acquisition is actually a handmade tool. And this is a, look at how beautiful it is. Isn't that just gorgeous? This was off of Etsy, and also again a gift for Christmas. This is a stiletto and a seam ripper combo tool for my sewing. This portion, I learned that I can use it from Jess at Okla Roots again for feeding in my fabric as I'm sewing. And then this seam ripper is a really good quality sharp seam ripper. I've had a multiple of seam rippers in my life, and there's only one other one that I actually enjoy working because it's sharp. The other ones aren't as sharp, so when it comes to seam ripping, I would say investing in a good quality seam ripper is worth it. And it comes in this cute little baggie. And this comes in different finishes. I chose this one, which is called Frozen 2, T-O-O. Awesome, awesome tool to have in your sewing room. This next acquisition is also sewing related, and it is a curved tipped thread snipper. And this was a gift. It came off of Amazon. You can find this on Amazon, and it's Maker and Market or something like that. I don't have the original box. I think I got rid of it, but I will have everything linked down below. Yeah, this, I'm not sure if I like it. I do love the curved tip for snipping my threads when I'm at the sewing machine, and it just doesn't feel smooth, and I'm not sure if it's because of this metal. Maybe if it were a different finish. I forgot to mention, it's also spring action. That's why I wanted it. It's not like, so here's a regular scissors that's also curved tip, but it's not spring action. It's just the regular scissors with a curved tip. But these are curved tip, and it's also spring action. See that? So that's why I wanted it. My next acquisition is not a tool, but a storage. And it is this bookshelf here, this dark colored bookshelf here. Now, I got that with the hopes of storing my fabrics. I started buying fabrics for my project bag making journey, and also for my doll making journey. And I was running out of space because I kind of accumulated fabric quickly. So I needed a storage space, and I fold my fabric using Marie Kondo's method, and it fits a certain dimension. And so when I was doing some research, I figured out that a CD shelf had similar dimensions, and so I started looking and researching for CD shelves, and this one that came from Walmart, and I'll have it linked down below, was just in my price range. As you know, furniture can be very expensive, and I wanted something that was, you know, a little more price friendly, I guess, economical. And I put this on my wish list, and I got it for Christmas. So I was so super excited because I'm wanting to revamp my whole craft room. to be more organized and less cluttered, so that I can craft in a happy environment. My next section is books that are not crochet related, but other craft related. So this first book is How to Make Voodoo Dolls. Now, before you click off and start unsubscribing, I don't normally make voodoo dolls. This is strictly just for funsies, and I thought that they would be fun during like Halloween, just to give out to trick-or-treaters. If they come out okay. Like, I've seen some people who have like these voodoo doll keychains. They're not dolls, but they're like dogs or something, or animals, and I thought that was so super cute. So I saw this book and I wanted it, and it went on my wish list, and I got it for Christmas. So I'm super excited to try this. It's a different craft to me, but I just thought it would be fun. So don't think that I'm a witch voodoo type kind of person, because I'm not, but I just thought that this would be a fun craft to play with. Now, if making these things are offensive to you, or maybe I'm not understanding the real meaning behind voodoo dolls, which I don't, I just think it looks like a fun craft, maybe you can share that knowledge with me and enlighten me. But I just thought that it would be a cute, fun craft to make, but not with the intention of, you know, using it as a voodoo doll in a traditional sense. So my next book is this, Animal Dolls. I want to make cloth dolls, and this was right up my alley. This uses different types of fabrics. This uses felt instead of regular fabric for the dolls. And when I say regular fabric, I mean cotton, because there are some pattern makers that use cotton and others that use felt, and others that use other things like fleece. So depending on the designer, they have their preferences in using certain materials, but this one in particular uses felt, and I just love the look of these dolls, and so I'm super excited to get started at this. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be heading towards this year in 2023. And if you're curious about what my goals are, I'll have the link down below. My next acquisition is this book, The Wonderful World of Rose Miniscule. If you look, this doll is made out of fabric, but it has a crochet jumper, whatever you call it. And she also uses knitting. So she uses crochet, knitting, and sewing all together in some of her dolls. And I love that look. And I'm super excited. When I got this book, I didn't even see the crochet piece. I just saw, you know, fabric dolls, and it went on my wish list, and I got it for Christmas. But I was surprised when I looked through it that she had some, you know how in the beginning of the book they'll tell you basic techniques and things like that. Well, she had crochet stitches and knitting stitches, and I was like, huh? Why would you need that in this kind of a book? And then when I looked further, she actually incorporates knitting and crochet in some of her accessories for her dolls. So I am super, super duper excited about this book. Now this is what I have to look forward to. Isn't that just adorable? I just love that look. So beautiful. That's what I aspire to be as a doll maker, amigurumi-ist. This next acquisition book is So Cute Creations. Now this is all sewing with fabric. Now this designer in particular likes using cottons for her dolls. And I wanted something beginner to medium to advanced. And so I got all of these different books with that in mind. And this was with the beginner in mind, because I am a beginner and I am working my way up. But I in particularly liked the mermaid and this pirate. and they're so super cute. I cannot wait to get started on my doll making journey. Now this next section is fabrics, and majority is purchased. I think there's one in here that was a gift because it's one of the custom printed fabrics. This is my first fabric, and this is Jessie from Toy Story. I just love, love, love this fabric. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I've got to get it. So this would be super cute in a project bag. I'm thinking of this as a project bag, not so much in my doll making. Now this, I got, not last month, I'll be honest. This was actually this month, but it was during Hobby Lobby's 90% off. They're trying to get rid of all of their Christmas fabrics, and this was one of them. And at 90% off, who could resist? 10%, you're paying 10%. It was just unreal. So I had to get it. I don't particularly like this fabric only because of this green background, which is funny because I love this green, but not for this background for some reason. I don't think it goes well. I don't know, but the price was right and I had to get it. So now it's part of my stash and I'm proud to have it. Now these next fabrics I got all together at the same time because I was trying to coordinate the fabrics at Hobby Lobby. And this was during their regular, I guess, 30 or 40% off for the Valentine's fabrics. I forget what the percentage is, but I got this in the hopes of making a Valentine's themed project bag. Now these next two is in the hopes of making an Easter project bag, and I thought it was super cute. Now a third, I'm gonna put another fabric in here or two. They'll probably be like solid colored fabrics. I'm thinking like a linen type color fabric, oatmeal or whatever. So that would be super cute. I'm super excited about this one. Now I have some Harry Potter fabrics already, but I do love the look of prints in my project bag. So I got this to be as a liner. I think would look good. So yeah, I love mixing prints with what do you call these? Images with prints. I love that look. And I love Friends. And when I saw this, I love the color combination. It's like a neutral background with the pops of color. And the illustrations was just spot on for me because I love that illustrated, sketchy type of look, drawing kind of look. I thought this would be a great looking project bag. So I'm curious and excited to see how this one comes out, what I decide to make with that. Now this fabric is the one I was talking about being a custom print fabric. And look at this. This was gifted to me. I forget what company made this, but this is a custom printed fabric. And it's a Christmas print, but Mario and it's pixels. I just love, love, love this. I'm super excited to turn this into a project bag. Now this is most likely going to be for keeps because this fabric was, we won't talk about that. This fabric I got on clearance, I believe. $3, I think, a yard. Was pretty good. I've recently been drinking a lot of coffee lately, coffee and tea. I wasn't always a coffee and tea drinker, but now I am, and I am loving the look of this. This is a canvas type of fabric, so I'm super excited to turn this into a project bag. This fabric I thought would be a good complementary fabric for some of my Christmas fabrics. Just something plaids. I love plaids, stripes, and polka dots. Now this fabric is, what do they call this? Tonal? Something or other. But I love this kind of fabric where it's not just one solid color, but it's, you know, variegated. It's like variegated yarn, but variegated fabric. So I love this look. It adds interest and texture. So instead of using a solid color fabric, I might end up using something like this in place of it to add a little bit of interest. And last but not least is this fabric. Now this I chose for my patchwork type of project bags that I'm wanting to make. So it's gonna have that country type of patchwork look to it. And I'm pretty much collecting, if you will, all these different types of print fabrics for that project. This next acquisition is cross stitch related. Now I haven't gotten started in cross stitch just yet, but it is on my to-do list. Miko actually has started on cross stitch and she's been using my hoop, my circular hoop, but I've been wanting to get this, and this is a Q-snap. It comes, the one that I got for Christmas was an 8-inch and an 11-inch set, and you can find this on Amazon, and I will have it linked down below. But with these two combinations, you can make an 8-inch frame or an 11-inch square frame or an 11 by 8 rectangle frame. And I just thought this is like one of the more commonly used frames for cross stitching because you can actually adjust the tension while it's in there. So I'm kind of looking forward to using this once I do get started in cross stitching. It's not one of my crafts that I have on my goals for this year, but you know, if in case I do get into it, I will be ready for it. This next acquisition also has to do with cross stitching, but this one was a purchase. I asked Miko what she wanted. She had a choice between I think 5 different designs, and I asked her which one, and she chose the one which I thought she would, which is the fox, this one, and I chose a turtle. And these are needle minders. And what they basically are is just magnets. In cross stitching, you will, so pretend this is the fabric and this is the magnet, and here's the metal piece for the back, and you'll put it on the back side so it sticks. You put the backing on the back side and the magnet in the front, and this will basically be attached to the fabric as you're working on it, and then you will take your needle that you're working with cross stitching and just set it on top of the magnet, and it'll just stay there. So that's what cross stitchers do. They use these needle minders while they're working on it. So I will put this on Miko's existing cross stitch project that she's got going on. She worked on it for quite a while and then she ran out of steam, and now it's just sitting on the wayside, but I will attach this to her project so that she can have her needle in a safe place. My next acquisition has to do with equipment for this channel. Now, one of our viewers had complained that she couldn't hear us, and so I considered upgrading into using equipment like microphones, and so I put this on my wish list, and this is a wireless dual microphone. It comes with this, I guess you call this an adapter. I don't know what I don't know the proper terms. I think that's the adapter. Receiver, I'm sorry. No, maybe this is the receiver. Anyways, it comes with 2 of these. The other one is I am currently charging it. So it has these little charging ports on the side. Comes with the charger and also comes with this. So it comes with 3 pieces. So you stick this into your phone, and then each person, Miko and I, will have our own microphone. And that's in the hopes that the audio will be better. So sometimes when I'm talking about something and I'm putting it in front of my face like this, it cuts off the audio, and with the microphone it'll prevent that from happening. And in the middle of filming, I'm not thinking about that. So we did put that on our wish list and we got it for Christmas. I also thought that I needed lighting because the lighting in this room isn't exactly ideal. We've got a combination of incandescent and bright white lighting, like office fluorescent lighting. And then I have my computer here that comes off and on, and a yellow glowing light behind there. So there's just a lot going on, and I'm not sure. Sometimes my face is darker than what it normally is. But anyways, I put some kind of lighting in my wish list, and I got it for Christmas. And when I say Christmas, it's either Christmas or birthday, and or birthday, whichever one. This is, I believe, more for photography than it is for filming because it's such a stark light. It comes with a set of 2. It also has like different color like films that you can put in front of it. So this is in its natural state. And it looks like this. And there's a cover here. You can take it off. And the legs pop out that way. So it has a little tripod stand. You can unscrew this and it bends and articulates. And of course you have to plug it in. And let me just turn it on for you. It is super, super duper bright. I don't even want to show it towards you, but I mean, if I can't, like, this is how bright it is, and I am feeling like I need sunglasses right now. So I think this is more for photography than it is for filming. So I've tried this for filming a couple of times, and what I do is I try to cover it with some tissue paper, and it seems to muffle some of the light, but then it's like, well, what's the point? So I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this for filming, but yeah, it's a little bit better. But I do need to put it from afar or cast it like indirect by bouncing it off of the walls. But yeah, I still have to play with this because sometimes I feel like the lighting in here during filming is just harsh. But you know, it's a learning process, this equipment stuff. So but that's all that we have for you today. I hope that you have found something interesting, and I hope to see you in our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.